So we have been working with expressions and how to manipulate expressions with a distributed property and combining like terms and what we do when there's negatives involved, and we've also written expressions from word problems. So now we've moved into equations, and yesterday you practiced solving one-step equations, which should be review. Let me know if you're having any trouble with that, and I will certainly meet with you or send you some extra help options. So today we're going to learn how to write two-step equations. And so the first thing I want you to do is pause this video, and I want you to think of all the words that could mean to add, subtract, multiply, or divide that you might see in a word problem. Go. So I've just put a few on here, definitely not all of them by any stretch of the imagination, so hopefully you came up with some others. If you have time and can quietly ask your partner while I'm not here today what they have on their list, I would highly suggest you share with a neighbor. Once again, do so quietly so that you aren't disturbing those around you who are also working at their own pace. So let's take a look at some of these. We have Theo takes photography and wants to buy a digital camera that costs $269. She plans to make a down payment of $100 and pay the remainder in 5 equal monthly payments. Write an equation to find the amount she has to pay for each monthly payment. So the first thing that we want to do is define our variable. And right here at this bottom part, when they're asking us what they want us to find, a lot of times that's a good place to look for to define a variable. So it says write an equation to find the amount he or she, I don't know, we called her both in there, has to pay for each monthly payment. So my variable in this case, each monthly payment, I might use M for monthly payment. Now the equation that I can come up with is they give me my total cost. So anytime I hear total or is, so that equal sign is another important one. And so to know where to put that equal sign, look for is, equal to or is. Those are kind of those big ones. You'll hear those words like total or sum or quotient, and that's where you might know that you're putting in an equal sign. So it says that she plans to make a down payment of $100 and then make 5 monthly payments. Well, if I'm paying the same amount each month and I'm doing it for 5 months, I'm going to have 5 times M. Now, on top of those 5 monthly payments, she also made $100 down payment. So that means that she started out, she paid $100, then she's going to pay a monthly payment 5 times, and all told that's going to equal that amount. So that's the kind of equation that we're looking for. You might flip it and put your variable first, which is the right thing to do. But if you want to go the order that it occurred, you could do that as well. When we go to solve it, it's not going to make a difference which order they are in. Just typically you're going to see them written like this. Next one, the highest recorded temperature in Warsaw. With these right here, do you see these are group examples? So you can work with a partner through these next 3 if you want. I'm also going to go over them. The highest recorded temperature in Warsaw, Missouri is 118 degrees Fahrenheit. This is 158 degrees greater than the lowest recorded temperature. Write an equation to find the lowest recorded temperature. And so I might use T for the lowest recorded temperature. Now, if you just like X or you just like Y and you want to use just X and Y, that's completely fine. Sometimes people like to use a variable that reminds them what they're trying to find. So it says the highest recorded temperature in Warsaw was 118 degrees. This is 158 degrees greater than the lowest recorded temperature. So if I took the lowest recorded temperature and greater than tells me to add 158 degrees, and there's that little is 118 degrees. So obviously when we would solve that, our lowest recorded temperature is probably going to be a See if you can fill in that blank for yourself. Antonia earns $6 per hour helping her grandmother write and solve an equation to find how many hours she needs to work to earn $48. So I want to find out how many hours. So my variable, I'm going to go H, because that is hours she needs to work. And if she makes $6 per hour helping her mother, well, $6 per hour, and she wants to earn $48. So you can see that's actually going to be a one-step equation there, but some practice writing some multiplication ones and how you would solve those. So be thinking about that, because notice we're not actually solving these quite yet. A certain hurricane travels at 20 and 88 hundredths kilometers per hour. The distance from Cuba to Key West is 145 kilometers. Write and solve an equation to find about how long it would take the hurricane to travel from Cuba to Key West. So I want to write and solve an equation to find out how long it would take the hurricane to travel. And we're talking about kilometers per hour. So I'm going to go with H again, because this is the number of hours for the hurricane to travel from Cuba to Key West. That was a long one, wasn't it? All right, so if it's traveling at 20.88 or 28 hundredths kilometers per hour, if I multiply that by how many hours it is, then I should get 145 kilometers. And so I want to know how long that takes. So eventually I'm going to solve that by doing some division. Make sure that as you're doing these, you pause, see if you come up with the same thing that I do, and then continue on. On this back side here, you can continue to work with a partner. You can branch off and work alone. Pairs are always nice so that you can kind of share what you're doing, and then you can check your answers on the answer key. There are a couple on here rather that are a little bit difficult, so make sure you check that answer key when you are done, and let me know on Tuesday if you have any questions.